Hello. It's me, Luna, the Zen Witch, and it's you, if you're watching. I have one. Hi. Hi, one person that is here waiting for me. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. Really, I do. So, tonight I've got one little candle going here. I don't have any charcoal burning because I get so hot sitting here with a candle and a charcoal, and my air conditioning goes that way. So I've actually got another little fan on me here. And I have to have a candle. And even more so lately. I mean, I always love having a candle burning when I'm doing readings. It brings the light. It brings energy. You know, what does a candle represent but vision, light that you can see by? So I want light to see by while I'm giving a reading. I want to be able to see what's going on. But I also have something else here, and that is, no, oh my God. I'm having trouble with my mouse, I've determined. I have this crystal vial that was my mother's, and in it is pure water, purified water, and run through like the best filter you can get. I have read in the last month a book called Jambalaya by Louisa Tish, and a book called Rootwork by Tiana, oh my God, did I forget her name? Tiana McQuillan. She is the one that did the Hoodoo Tarot, which I will be reviewing soon, and the Sibyl's Oraculum. So I read both of those books through. Easy reads. Louisa Tish's book is from the 1980s, and she was like one of the first black women, maybe the first black woman witch, magic worker, root worker to write a book and put it out there. And I remember wanting the book, and I just never bought it. Because she was a black woman? Probably. Because her practice was different than mine. She didn't put herself out as a witch. She is a voodoontsi, so she practices voodoo, and I don't. I was always curious about it, but I just, bought witch books that were the thing that I practice. So not that there's a lot of difference. It's, the difference is in the details, as always. But one of the things that they both say, Louisa and Tiana, by the way, I heartily recommend both of those books. Rootwork you can read in an afternoon. It's very short, sweet, to the point, lots of tables with correspondences and meanings and things, lots of great spells to do. If that is your path, they're excellent books. And Jambalaya is not her whole story, but it's just about her journey going back to her roots in New Orleans and, dealing with her family and stuff like that. But the magic is there. I mean, the teachings are there. She gives all the teachings as well. And there are sections through the book that have these great workings that you can do if you're going on that path. So I recommend both of them. They're really great. But one of the things they both talk about is in ritual, or if you're doing readings or any kind of, conjuring, is having a white candle, which I usually have a candle burning, but having a glass of water for the spirits as well. So I have pure water in here. When we're ready to do readings, I'm going to uncork it. Tonight, I'm going to try something a little different. I'm going to use the Russian fortune-telling cards. I don't like the G word. I want to get it out of my mouth. And what I'm going to do is only take enough cards until I get a picture match. If you're not familiar with this deck, you should watch my review of it. It is just incredibly alive. It has the gift. It has the connection to spirit. And I am more than half Eastern European and Russian roots. More Eastern European, but there's Russian as well. Mostly Slovakian. But there are 4 half pictures on each card, and when you do a reading with them, you lay them all out, and then you look for cards next to each other where you can complete a picture, and you turn it, and whatever picture is made, there's a number and there's an arrow, and you read that that card depending on which way the arrow is facing. It's eye-poppingly accurate and amazing. So I'm going to use that, and I'm only going to take as many cards as it takes to make a picture before I read for the sign. I want to say something else as I'm getting started here. And if you're watching, please say hi so I know who's watching. I had a comment on a video the other day because I always close and say, you know, wash your hands, wear your mask, stay safe, all that kind of stuff. And this young person said, the virus is a hoax. You know, it doesn't matter, it's a hoax, blah, 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 blah. And I just said none of those things are true. She had a string of things that were just not true. So I want to say right now, the virus is real. I believe in science. I believe in what the doctors and scientists are saying and what I see with my own eyes and hear with my own ears. I believe in the reputable sources that put information out. I know the virus is a real thing. It has wiped out nearly 150,000 people in the United States of America. And if you're coming to my channel looking for validation for any kind of beliefs other than that, anything that the virus is a hoax and everything's fine, especially if you're a young person, you can unsubscribe. Because you're not going to get, I will not argue with you. One of my favorite sayings is by Robert Heinlein, or favorite quotes. It's from one of his books, and I don't remember which book. And is, never attempt to teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time, and it annoys the pig. So this is saying, don't argue with people whose minds can't be changed. I know you've heard me talk about the plastic brain before, and NLP, and the rule that says the person with the greatest capacity for change wins, always. And there seems to be a certain sector of the population of the planet, not just this country, although I think we have a concentration here, but on the planet, of people whose brains cannot shift, cannot change. Or even if their brains are changeable, they're stuck in a shame-based mindset that says, I cannot admit that I'm wrong. I have to be right. You know, to be wrong means that me as a person am wrong, not my opinion. So when you get people whose minds can't or won't be changed, please save your energy. Don't argue with the Jehovah's Witnesses that come to your door. You are not obligated to tell anybody about your religion or your practices. You are not obligated to justify your practices to anybody, even if you're related to them. You do not have to justify your spiritual journey. You have a right to your own spirituality, your own beliefs, and your own path in getting to those beliefs, which means that you fuck up a lot, you try things that doesn't work, no, this really wasn't for me, but you try different things. You're allowed to change your mind, as long as you keep going towards the goal. You know, some people do the changing mind thing. Hi, Georgia, I'm just looking late, but here, yay. Okay, yay, Robert Heinlein. I mean, I know he's got his problems, as do everybody. Anyway, okay, what the hell was I saying? I sidetracked myself. I hate it when I do that. That there are some people that go into a spiritual quest, you know, a spiritual search. They're looking for their practice. And, you know, people will say, I'm looking for my path. What's my path? And my answer to the what's my path question is look down, you're on it. You can't be any place else. The question you're really asking is, what's my practice? If you're on a spiritual path and you're asking those spiritual questions, that's your path. You're working a path towards self-realization, self-actualization, connection with spirit, enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. And so, and that is your path, and you can't be on a wrong path, right, wrong path. Okay, you're on the road to learning your lessons, whether that's easy or whether that's incredibly difficult. If you're on a spirit, and really, whether you're on a spiritual path or not, whether you practice or not, it's going to be difficult when you're going through the karmic lessons that actually are pushing you ahead as a spirit, those are not easy things. Those are not easy lessons. Usually they are the big periods of suck in your life. But you come out the other end changed. And if you have a spiritual practice when you're going through those times, you will be able to come out the other end a lot more easily, and a better person with more knowledge, more wisdom, more skills. If you're not on a spiritual path, or you're following the way of victimhood rather than empowerment, what's my choice here, what can I do here, then you might come out the other end after all these trials of even more having your victimhood validated. So know that the spiritual path is a path of empowerment. It's a path of choice making. It's a path of things are happening, my karmic lessons are coming my way. What do I have to learn here? What's my role in this? What am I being taught? What skills can I gain from this? How have I hurt people by not understanding this? And make reparations where you can. But that's the path of empowerment. That's a spiritual path. The victim path says life is a series of shit that happens to me. One turd after another. Maybe a turd, a flower, flower, turd. Things come at you. And it's this idea that I don't have a choice. It's the Eight of Swords card with the blindfold on, and the Two of Swords too, but mostly the Eight of Swords for me says it's that I don't have a choice mindset. And so I remember doing a reading for someone once, and they'll ask, like, am I going to get married? Or they were with someone and were asking, are we going to get married? And I said, have they proposed? Have you talked about it? Are you making plans? It's not something that just happens to you. It's two people making a choice. Am I ever going to blah, blah, blah? What are you doing towards that thing? So this idea that life happens to you and I'm waiting to see what happens, rather than here's how I want to live my life and what I'm doing to achieve that. That's the difference between a victim mindset and empowerment mindset, not being really on a spiritual path and being on one. But the thing I started to say is some people are on a spiritual path, they start going along, they're practicing, and the shit starts to hit the fan, because when you start to evolve spiritually, the universe is going to ask you, what do you understand about this now? This is part of your old trauma. What do you understand about this now? Here, you have new tools and new eyes. Here's this problem again. What do you think about it now? What are you going to do about it now? And so when the shit starts to hit the fan, when they start a new spiritual practice, then it's like, oh, this isn't for me. I'm going to go try something else. And then they go to another spiritual practice and try that. And if it's a genuine enlightenment path, the shit's going to hit the fan. Things are going to get uncomfortable. And then they go, oh, that's not for me either. I'm going to go try something else, until they eventually end up with the white light, love and light, love and light, the Two of Swords of I don't see anything that's in front of me, and I'm in denial. There's nothing bad that happens. Everything's good. And they're just as fucked up as they were when they went in, except they're addicted to something new now. This is their opiate. This is their escape. So anyhow, hi Emrys. Tonight, hold on. That was a mouthful. I had no idea I was going to talk about most of that. Anyhow, let's get on with readings, because that's like 15 minutes of yakking I just did there. So if you've just arrived, I'm using the Russian fortune telling cards, and I'm only going to take them until I get a picture match for each of the signs. I was going to start with a full spread tonight, but I think that's got to be a separate video because it could take a long time. If you get a lot of pictures, it takes a hell of a long time. And I want you guys to have readings. Okay. And you are hearing, I hope you're hearing, ocean waves tonight. There we go. Last week's reading video has gotten bounced from this country. I did not receive a strike for it because I credited the music that I was using. I was using Sheila Chandra, and apparently the video now cannot be aired It said it can only be seen by 31% of my subscribers or something like that. I can't remember, but countries and places it can't be aired because of copyright laws. So I thought that, since, if I just gave copyright and said I don't own this, here's who this is, gave attribution, that I would be good, but apparently that's not the case. So we've got ocean waves, and hopefully this video won't get bounced. And if you're not here live to watch it, you'll be able to see it later, okay? So I have my karma cards, and these are all the signs. We're going to shuffle those. Wait. I'm going to open the water. And I'm going to offer this light and this water to Spirit, to my ancestors, to my mother and grandmother, who definitely had the gift. And to all my guides and guardians, I ask you to come here and be present, to whisper in my ear. Lloyd, please be at the interface for me. I'm listening, buddy. Give me the messages that people need to hear, so that I would love people to get what they need. Let's go for that, all right? And I welcome you here. Blessed be. So let's shuffle the sign cards. Oops. And I'm going to do one other thing here. I didn't light a charcoal because I'm just cooking at the end of the evening with that. Let me go get... Thank you for your patience. I'm going to light some lovely Japanese incense. Japanese incense is absolutely exquisite. I've got to wipe off the top of this box because it's dusty and I'll be sneezing. And these are called elements, and for each of the elements they're fabulous. Some of them smell like really good cologne. But this one is for space. So the elements, earth, air, fire, water, and space is what these come in. Oh my God, it's so good. And they remind me of our trip to San Francisco. I took my family to San Francisco 8 years ago. And that's where we got them for the first time. So I offer water, incense, and light. And I'm going to put it, okay, and I'm going to do something stupid is what I was about to say there. Let's do this. At least I won't burn my cloth. I'm going to put it right here. Let me rearrange the furniture. Thank you for being patient. There. Ah, it smells heavenly. Okay. So these are my offerings to Spirit. And there are the sign cards. I also have Socrates here, so if anybody has a yes or no question that you would like to give to this boy. And hi, Anne from Norway. Wow, that's fucking awesome. Okay, so let's get going. There is a ritual with these cards. I'm going to shuffle them through 10 times to clear the deck, and then I do 7 more shuffles, and then I'll cut them. And then we will start. And I'm going to ask that this ritual with the deck hold for all of the readings tonight as I shuffle them in between, so I don't have to go through that every single time, okay? Although I might do it anyway, because, Steph impresses me that way. I like to kiss my cards. Okay, this is to clear. There's 1, 2, 3, Did you guys see that hit? I was like, and then it was like, I feel myself kind of sinking down into my body, first of all, just into my body, because this is the antenna. This is the thing that receives the information. So now we are going to shuffle 7 times through to set for the first reading. And what I am asking is for information. I'm going to put it back in because I need to go through the ritual. For all of my viewers, for their sign, their rising sign, their moon sign. I think that was fine. All right. And now I cut them, flip them over here, and off we go. And I will look up these meanings. I have not even attempted to memorize this deck because the writing is what's really connected. The messages are true. All right, I'm going to move Socrates out of the way a little bit so I have a slight more amount of fighting room. Ooh, that's a better setting anyway. Okay, here we go. Who are we reading for first? Virgo. If you are Virgo sun, moon, or rising, this is for you. Okay, hold on, I got to neaten my space a little bit here. I got too much stuff. Because it might take several cards in a row before we get a match. And remember, we're looking at all 4 half pictures on a card. And there we have one. So we got a piggy. And the pig is number 45, and it's upside down. So Virgo, your message is overindulgence in food will make you sick. Pig is a symbol for earthly pleasures. The period of influence is immediate to middle, so it's like watch right now what's going on. Overindulgence in food will make you sick. If you have diabetes, ulcers, heart trouble, cancer, arthritis, gallstones, or any other ailment that is affected by diet, you should be very careful with your food intake when this picture appears. In the past, I have had several gallstone attacks. I've kept the attacks under control by not eating fatty foods. This picture is always a warning to me that I'm getting careless and that unless I go back to my diet, I will get sick. Even if you do not suffer from any ailment, you should be more careful with your food and drink intake. Perhaps you are eating too much junk food and should start eating more healthy foods. Poor eating habits lead to many kinds of illnesses. The picture is telling you that your eating habits need improvement. And my husband and I have been back on strict keto now for a week. That's the ketogenic diet, which is high fat, medium protein, low carb. And I've dropped 10 pounds. I'm getting the keto facelift again. Probably half of that was water weight that goes when you get the glucose out of your bloodstream, because every molecule of glucose holds 2 molecules of water. And so, I mean, it's like you flush out all this water read inflammation when you start the diet. I'm not going to get on my soapbox here, but I do want to say that when I started seeing the doctor that I have now, who's incredible, he's a DO with a mother who's a naturopath. All of his family is into natural medicine. He recommended the blood type diet for me. When I asked him about keto, he said, I think that would be optimal for you with my fibromyalgia and the problems that I had, my IBS. Within a year of switching to keto, my IBS was healed. I mean, the first several months it was better, but if I lapsed or ate something wrong, I would still have consequences. But it is now healed. It's now healed. I claim that. So anyway, Virgo, watch what you eating. All right, I'm going to pick them up again. I'm going to shuffle through 3 times. Let's see who we're reading for. Sagittarius, I think the deck needs to know first, although with psychic things and magic things, there is no time and space. So if you forgot your question to ask a question, or I forgot to reveal the sign, it's still going to be pertinent. All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut them again, and then we go into the right hand. Okay, Sag. Is anybody a Virgo? If you are, let me know if that rang your bell in any way. Oh, looky. There we go. It's animal night. I've had readings where I get a lot of animals when I read these cards, for me personally. Okay, 17, and it too is reversed. I skipped over it both ways. All right, Heron is the card. Period of influence is middle. It's a symbol for new beginnings and change. Think stork, okay? Delivering a baby. And this one says, an addition to the family for Sagittarius. If a young couple gets this picture, it signifies a pregnancy or arrival of a newborn baby. However, the picture also comes up for people who are past childbearing years or those not interested in having children. For those people, the picture indicates that someone will be joining their household. This could be a child coming back, a relative, or even a friend. I'm thinking even an animal. It does not mean that this person will be staying with you forever, only that he or she will stay with you until your or the person's needs are fulfilled. For example, a child is coming home for the summer holidays, or you'll rent out the space. Or you will rent out your spare bedroom. In either case, your family will expand, and this expansion will bring with it all the joy, turmoil, and confusion that a newborn baby brings to the household. So, there you go, Sag, addition to the household. And this is Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising. And you know, you could nuance this yourself. If you think about, well, I have Sag Sun, this means me creatively, you know, my life and my expression. If you have Sag Moon, maybe think about this is dealing with my emotional realm. If you have Sag Rising, this is me dealing with the outside world. Okay? Who's up next? Libra. Oh, I gotta turn this one on. Oops. We got jumpers tonight, don't we? And you know what? I think, hold on, 2, 3. I think from here on out, if they jump, I'm going to pick those up and go with them. I really do think that. Because, I mean, obviously they're jumping. So. Okay. Libra. Can you guys see the pictures clearly enough? I mean, let me see if this helps. No, why no? That didn't help at all. How about this? That's better. Okay, I want you to be able to see the dang cards. Okay, so, yeah, there we go. So now you can see these pictures and see if they match or not. And I'm sure you'll see one go by and you'll be screaming at me, Luna, you missed one. I always, when I do use this deck, after the reading's complete, go back over, or if I'm reading for someone else, I will ask them, you know, do you see anything I missed? So let's scoot them up and go the next row. And I'll say the pictures, and sometimes it helps me to catch everything. So we've got handshake, lilies, heron, dog, ship, wood, horse, mouse. Not there. We have heart, rooster, lilies, cat. This is an apple, not a heart. That's an apple, that's a heart. So those are not a match. So neither side. Moon, castle. Castle's over here. Cavalier, cat. Told you it's animal night. Okay. Cat is number 41. Okay. The influence is short. It is a symbol for hidden danger. And it too is upside down. Alrighty. You will unexpectedly be badly scratched. This usually refers to a verbal attack or a catty remark that someone makes to you. It is usually unprovoked by you and not deserved. The best way to act is not to get angry or upset, but simply to ask the person, why are you saying this? This puts the onus of justifying the remark on the person. Silence is also a good rebuttal to catty remarks. Don't give the person the pleasure of seeing you get irritated or disturbed. You should also be wise enough to avoid provoking a verbal attack. And you should be able to know the difference, whether I provoke that or not, you know. And even if you provoke something, do you deserve exactly what you get? Refrain from boorish acts that irritate people, like dropping in uninvited. The Russians say an uninvited guest is worse than a Tartar. The Tartars were Mongolian invaders of Russia during the Middle Ages. If you behave boorishly, expect to be criticized. I have had this come up before when somebody did take, say some really uncalled for things. So, okay. It also came up more than once in a job that I had where I knew people were shit-talking me. Oh, we have to find out who's next. That was Libra. Capricorn is up next. All right, Cappies. What do we got for you? Okay, pig, owl, cavalier, fire, anchor, fish, pig. And this time it's upright. How interesting is that? We are 4 for 4 with animals. Back to le cochon. All right. Period of influence, immediate to middle, symbol for earthly pleasures in this position. The other one was what you eat could make you sick. Overindulgence in food could make you sick. This one is saying positively a prosperous and happy year. A picture in this position is always welcome as it indicates a good year for you. It does not necessarily mean that you will get rich suddenly. Rather, it means that within your present circumstances, you will be very comfortable. You will not have money problems. Life will be easy, comfortable, and free of any major economic problems. So mote it be, Capricorn. So mote it be for all of us in these times. So, and do you see how very different this deck is? That each one of these, how many pictures are there? 50. Each one of these 50 pictures has 4 distinct meanings. They, both of these had to do with earthly pleasures, but they were totally different things, totally different meanings. So it's a hell of a deck. That means there's 200 distinct meanings in this deck. That if you want to, learn them, you have to memorize all of those. And then she gives these great Russian proverbs in them that I just love. Let me see if this, no, there. I'll put it on one. Did you see my armpit hair? It's getting really sparse lately. It makes me sad. Okay, who's up next? Pisces is up next. Okay, so Pisces, sun, rising, or moon. Let's see what we got. We have ring, house, heron, apple, book, road, dagger, stars, lily, cat, heart, rooster. I'm getting the same cards. I'm shuffling the shit out of them. And I'm getting the same cards over and over again. Horse, lady, dagger. Okay, dagger's over there. Bread. Way over here is mountain, flowers, letter, money. I'm going to continue this way because then I have 2 chances of the next row connecting. And that's the way they're laid out. So we have letter here, and that one's over there, anchor, fish, pig. And then we have scale fish, an animal. And you see how many things are not animals here? Apple, house, ring, road, book, stars, dagger, lilies, heart, bread, lady, flowers, letter, mountain, money. Most of them are not animals. So, okay. Fish is number 33, and it is upright as well. And I turned right to it. Pisces! Pisces got the fish. Shut the front door. I love it. So this is my my moon. The Pisces, sun, moon, rising. So I'm going to try to look at this in, and yeah, I haven't hit any of the other things. I'll look at this in terms of my emotional makeup. Fish, short to middle period of influence. It's a symbol for material and or spiritual fortune. And it says fortune, especially on the sea. As mentioned earlier, the picture can have two meanings. On the first level, seek fortune on the seas. Anything to do with the seas, fishing, scuba diving, oceanography, cruise ships will lead you to success. We've got ocean waves going in the background here. You hear that? Okay. You will either make money or meet someone who will complete your life. On the second level, the picture tells you to seek your fortune in spiritual matters. Material things will not bring you happiness at this time. Even other people will not fulfill the need that you have. This is the time to get in touch with yourself and do something that interests you or is unique to you. If you can contribute to make the world a better place, you will also make yourself happy at the same time. Write the book you've always wanted to write. Compose songs, become a big brother or big sister, read to the blind, join a religious organization, or go to a foreign country and work with the poor. Well, you can't go to a foreign country right now if you live in the U.S. because nobody will let you in because of the asshole in the White House. But anyway, each person has a unique talent or responsibility or personality trait that can help humankind. When the picture appears in this position, whatever you have undertaken will flow easily. You have a chance at making a great contribution to the world. Fortune awaits you, not necessarily in the monetary sense, but in the self-satisfaction that you get from knowing that you've done your best. During the many years I spent writing this book, whenever the picture appeared in this position, the writing was very easy for me. It was as though someone was guiding my fingers. So, Pisces, the fish. And you know, success on the seas, the ocean is also, it's a symbol for the foundation of all of life. It's a symbol for the goddess. It's a symbol for emotions that ebb and flow, like with Cancer, you know, ruled by the moon and the tides and all. So it could just be talking about, you know, really in practical terms, getting in touch with your spiritual self and your emotional self, paying attention to your emotions and seeing how they function for you. And I want to tell you something that I have told many kids in the classes that I've taught over the years. And I found that parents, I'm sorry, I'm fixing my light here. Okay, here we go. This is the one thing that I had several parents come up to me and say, I never knew that, when the kids brought their materials home. And that is that your emotions belong to you, but they're not who you are. They are not who you are. They have lots of energy in them, but if you identify them, and even the way we use language makes us identify with them. We say, I am angry, I am sad, I am happy, right? Rather than I feel happy, I feel content, I feel sad, I feel angry, because those things are not constant states. They ebb and flow. If they are constant states, then you've got a disorder. You have depression or anxiety. You know, if you're always crazily happy, maybe you are bipolar. If you are angry all the time, you can be bipolar. Maybe it's PTSD, so things like that. So emotions ebb and flow. That's why they're ruled by water. And remember that they belong to you, but they're not who you are. So maybe change your language, okay, around them, Pisces. So, who's next? Gemini. George, I believe this is for Capricorn. The money one was for Capricorn. So, okay. And you know, wisdom is wisdom. If it pertains to you and you don't, you know, have sun, moon, or ascendant in whatever sign I'm reading, so what? It's not like you have to pay with that to get in, right? Take the wisdom and use it. If it works for you, it works for you. A good witch can make anything work. Remember that. A good witch can make anything work. Plastic brain. Reframe. Seeing things differently. Okay. So, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Oh, we have to cut. Here we go. Here we go now. Okay, we have house, crayfish, scales, fish, and we have fish again, upside down. Do you see me shuffling these cards? Are you watching me shuffling these cards? I really am shuffling these cards. Okay, what number are we again? 33. Now, different position. Pay attention to how different it is from what I just read, or maybe it won't be. Sometimes they're each individual. So this one says, in a difficult moment, you won't sink but will rise to the surface. So yeah, totally different meaning. No matter what blow life may deal you, you will be able to handle it. And this is Gemini, remember. This picture appears when people feel down, disappointed, or abandoned. The picture is always a support and uplifting force. I want to stop right now because this is an incredibly difficult time for Geminis and Libras when you can't be with people all the time. So just to acknowledge and validate you guys. I know, it's tough. It tells you that you have the courage and inner resources to rise above any problems. Your best character traits will come to the surface and will help you out of your difficulty. If it is finding a job, getting over a broken marriage or love affair, or recovering from anything that has you down, you will be able to master the situation. Remember David and Goliath. David, even with all the odds against him, was able to slay Goliath. If your troubles seem so insurmountable that suicide seems the only way out, don't do it. It is not only your inner strength that makes you rise to the surface, like the water currents that help a fish rise to the surface, so heavenly powers will assist you in surmounting your problems. Actually, it's the swim bladder that helps a fish rise to the surface, so, you know. But I know what she's saying. I know what she's saying. Okay. So, Gemini, it just says, yes, these are tough times for you. What did I just knock off of there? These are tough times for you, and hang in there. This too shall pass. You'll get through it. Now, watch me shuffle. Let's see who we're reading for. We are reading for Aries. I put my elbows here so you can see. That's one. That's two. That's three. Okay, my favorite horn heads. So we have heart, cat, rooster, lilies. We have letter pig, anchor, fish, and we have the fish again. Oh my God, you guys. I'm flipping out here. I am kind of flipping out here. It's okay. So, what was this about? Success on the high seas. Fortune is found on the seas. So for you too, Aries, and look at how the nuance changes when we're reading the fish for Pisces. It's talking about Pisces and when we're talking about Aries, it's very different saying getting in touch with your emotional self. Because Aries tends to roll right over that, particularly Aries moon is just like, who cares, you know? Or they get pissed off and they get over it. They get over their emotions very quickly. So, success on the high seas. Anything having to do with water, anything having to do with going more deeply into your spirituality, into your emotions, looking at where they are taking you right now. How are you feeling? And here's the thing too, if you're when you start tuning into your psychic abilities and your intuition, it's so hard to believe what your mind is telling you. You know, you have ideas float through your head and it's like, I'm not going to say that because surely I'm making all this up. But particularly if you're an empath, so which means that you're psychic, which is an emotional function, and a physical function, and you find yourself having feelings about something and you can't trace where they come from. I always, if I find myself in an emotional state, and I stop all of a sudden and go, why am I going through this? And it's usually a not good thing. I'm angry, or I'm really sad, or something like that. I'll stop and ask myself, what is this about? And if I can't trace back to the event that triggered that emotion in me, it's not mine. So that is a way that you can start to differentiate whether a feeling that you get is something coming in from the outside or whether it belongs to you. And also, of course, you want to make sure that you put your egg around you, your bubble around you. I have got to record the full grounding meditation. I really do. But when you go around with that egg around you all day, and your filter, and you ask your guides, please filter my experience for me so I don't take on other people's emotions, so I can observe, not absorb. Remember that. Observe, not absorb. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Crawfish. Guess what? Another flippin' animal. We are hands down. Actually, no, the deck. Me and her. So this is number 43, and it is upright. Crayfish, the period of influence is short to life. It's a symbol for learning to cope with fate. In this position, having made too bold a step, you'll back off. So, Aries. Yes, this is for Aries. No, the fish was for Aries. Okay, let's see who's next. Oh my God. See what happens when I sidetrack myself? Scorpio. Put a little pointy tail on there, and what do you have? You have a fucking scorpion. So maybe I'm just going to continue from here. I hadn't even thought about that each picture in sequence is for the sign. But then we wouldn't have had the treat of getting the fish 3 fucking times. And the pig twice. Wow, okay. Having made too bold a step, you'll back off. The picture usually comes up in this position when you have more than one way of dealing with the situation. For example, you need to travel to a destination. Should you drive or take the plane? You want to take the car because it will give you more freedom, but if you take the plane, you will be more rested and will lose fewer working days. Your emotions take over and you decide to drive. You make all the arrangements, but at the last moment, reason takes over and you back down. When the picture comes up in this position, it usually indicates that you're not really ready to make the move, or that fate doesn't want you to make this move at this time. The picture can refer to major moves such as emigrating to a new country, again, not possible right now, or minor ones like deciding not to go on a date with a new friend. Whatever the step is that you have to back off from, you should not feel guilty, as this is simply not the right time for your action. So anything, this is a really broad meaning. I like this because this can be interpreted in light of every Aries that's listening, because every one of them is going to have a different type of project that they're working on. Some of the other answers are more specific to, one type of thing, which, the horoscopes in the newspaper, it always cracks me up, when they would have you're going to start a secret love affair at work. And it's like, can you imagine if every fucking whatever Libra on the planet was suddenly having a love affair at work on the same day? And, it's kind of funny. But this is really nice and broad. So it's just saying it is not time yet, that you may find, or maybe in the process, this might be validating you changing your mind about something. Here's what I'm going to do. The decision's made. I have new information. I'm changing my mind. Or I just need not to do this right now. If you're running into roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, then maybe that's spirit telling you to back off. Now, maybe it's not. For example, last night, I was composing an email for my husband, because I type like the wind, and I'm on my computer, and my mouse is fucked up. Something's terribly wrong with it. And so I'm typing, and my keyboard was messed up too. It was right. Typing away. I'm at the end of the email. All of a sudden, I'm typing, and the whole thing highlights and deletes. I'm like, fuck! So I'm going to rewrite this. I thought it out. It was a short email, no problem. Start typing it again. I get to the end. suddenly the whole thing highlights and deletes. And by this time, I am turning the air blue around me, and my husband is going, nah, but he has learned that it's not personal. He's an Aries. It's very difficult for Aries to learn that something's not personal. I'm looking at you. And see, now I'm sweating like mad. Keto gives me hot flashes again because my furnace turns up and my metabolism turns up. This is me burning fat, you guys. Witness. Do you see the steam? Anyhow, I was so frustrated, and he's like, well, obviously you're not meant to do that right now. And it's like, no, this needs to get done right now because we have a deadline on something. So it's like, all right, I sure as hell am not going to go through that again. So I typed it up in Word, copied and pasted into an email. But that was not Spirit telling me, back off from this obligation that you have in business that totally needs to be taken care of. So you've got to really be honest with yourself about, do I just bail out on this, or Spirit doesn't want me to do this, or does it mean you don't want you to do this right now and you really need to? It's your obligation. So again, you got to be honest with yourself. All right, so I'm just going to keep going here. The next picture that comes up is going to be Taurus. And we have a horseshoe. A horseshoe points up, Taurus. Ooh, baby. This is number 28. This makes things a lot faster too, and then the one shuffle that I did in the beginning stands for the whole thing. I'm digging it. I also dig that people can get the same thing, the same cards, same picture, whatever. All right, period of influence, Taurus, is middle. It's a symbol for success. Good fortune and great success awaits you. If during the reading you asked how a certain idea or proposal of yours will do, and you get this picture in this position, you know that you will meet with success. This could be a job you're applying for, a promotion you've been pushing for, a bid to purchase something, a thesis submission or an idea that you want to pursue, a house that you're trying to buy, a project at home that you're trying to do. Let's broaden from just the small examples that she gives. Those are just examples, not here's the list of things this pertains to, right? The signal is a green light. Go ahead with your plans as they will meet with approval. So the last one was like, you're going to be changing plans here. Something's going to be, you're changing your mind and not going ahead and validating it's okay to change your mind and not pursue that thing right now. This is green light, go. Taurus, go, go, go. The period of influence is of middle duration, which means the effects will last anywhere from a few days to a few years. You will be successful, but only to the degree that you put effort into it. Don't just sit back and wish for success. Do something to get it. The picture tells you that your ideas and efforts are worthwhile and will meet with great success if you pursue them. Don't be afraid of ideas that seem different or innovative. The Russians joke by saying, you're not like your mother or father, but like the handsome passerby. You have talents that make you different from your family. Use your talents and great success will follow. Awesome. Yay, Anne. Yeah, good reading there, eh? Okay, who's next? Leo. Me. Guess who's having a birthday Saturday? Ooh, 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 ooh. I was born on August 1st on Lammas. And my mother chose that date with her doctor. Because back then doctors like to control everything, and because my sister was born like a week or so after her due date, or I think it was later than that after her due date, but my mother's periods were so wonky they should never have calculated the due date like that. It was, off. So they thought she was like way overdue. She wasn't overdue. She came when she was ready to come. And so for me, we're not going to wait. We're just going to schedule the birthday. And so I was induced, and that was rough because I didn't breathe and all kinds of shit happened. But anyway, they chose the pagan holiday to bring this priestess in. And I am forever grateful for that. There are no mistakes. So anyway, hi, sun to shine. Hey, thank you. All right, so we have tree, snake, sickle or scythe. I think it's side, and mountain. We have hearse, lady, bear, moon. We have ring, birds, anchor, scythe, that's down there. We have handshake, castle, birds. Oh, let's do a happy dance. That horseshoe for Taurus was the first non-animal. That's the first non-animal. Amazing. But now we're back to animals. So we got birds for Leo. Help me keep track of myself, you guys. I need a keeper so bad. Okay, birds. The period of influence is immediate. It's a symbol for freedom from responsibilities, and it is upside down. An obstacle with which you will have to fight. Great. Okay, let me think here. Okay, I know. An obstacle with which you will have to fight. The problem or obstacle is slightly more serious than that indicated by the picture in position 3, which says you expect someone not to fulfill a promise and you will be right. So it's a little more serious than that. But again, nothing major. Obstacles in life are a challenge. When we overcome them, we get a powerful sense of achievement. Like the farmer, we don't have to kill the birds that invade our fields. We can learn to outwit them by using a scarecrow or noise. Likewise, look at the obstacle and think of creative ways to overcome it. That way you can save your energy for real problems. Well, I have a main issue in mind, but I wouldn't really call it an obstacle. It's a legal matter. But anyway, Leo here we're talking about, and this is, I have my midheaven is in Leo, and it's my Leo sun, so we're talking about self-expression here, obstacles to self-expression. And one of the things that came up was just having like all the infrastructure I need, like a website. I just can't afford a website right now. And I really would love to have one. But then that's a whole other learning curve, which I've done a rudimentary website before, you know, just a place to send people to go, here's what I do and how to get in touch with me and all that shit. Anyway, I could see that as an obstacle. So there you go, Leo. We have, oh, looky there. It just landed. Did you see that? Boom. This is for Cancer. Cancer in the castle. Isn't that lovely? I mean, the house would be much more Cancerian, but castle, I'll take it. And the second non-animal out of 11. This is 19. The period of influence is life. It's a symbol for security, and it's upright. Fulfillment of hopes, although at the end of your life. Whatever your hopes in life are, they will be fulfilled, even if at the end of your life. This one says, although at the end of your life. That's a little more finite than this, even if. So it says, to me, right off the bat, it's saying never give up hope on the things that you really, the fulfillment you're looking for in your life. Never give up hope of being fulfilled and complete as a person. And I would say, even if you need to take a good hard look and edit the bucket list, or edit the list of these are the things that will prove I'm a worthy person. Okay, I'll tell you guys, tonight I am digging this. I feel like I'm not thinking very hard, which means we're hooked up. Okay. If you are seeking a happy relationship, a home, a publisher for your book, travel to an exotic place, or the like, your hopes will be realized, although perhaps not as soon as you would wish. Let's say if you want to lose weight, if you want to remodel your house, if you're looking for, you know, I want to have this skill, I want to perform for people, I want to whatever, any of those things. The problem is, okay, so your hopes will be realized, but perhaps not as soon as you would wish. The problem is that many of us want it sooner than is ordained. So she is talking about destiny here. And destiny, you know, fate and destiny are two different things. I look at fate as in the word fatal, meaning unavoidable. You know, I am fated to do this, and generally something kind of negative. I look at destiny as the call for your gifts. I have these gifts. Destiny is calling them out of me. I feel the pull and the call of destiny. Do you remember the movie Babe? Those little ideas that tickle and nag have the seeds of destiny. So, yes, destiny is a much more positive, forward pull of things. Fate is like, I'm going to go and then I hit this and I can't avoid it. It's like the brick wall. Death is the fatal thing. I think death is the only real fate. It's fatal. Get it? But destiny is a fluid thing. Destiny deals with using your gifts however you use them. There are so many ways to do that. And to find out how to use them, get your chart read. That's what it's all about. That's what a chart is about. Okay. We don't want to wait a lifetime. After all, this is the age of instant gratification. The picture tells you to relax, stop trying so hard, keep on working towards your goal. Don't rush it. You will get what you want, but later. The irony is that if you get it too soon, it might be the end of your life as well. Ooh. A castle does not only mean security. A castle is a safe refuge. Hold on a second. Because we're reading for Cancer, I need to turn my ocean back on again. Okay. Waves on the way. Come on, darling. Alrighty. Okay. You don't rush it, you'll get what you want, but later. The irony is that, okay, a castle does not only mean security. A castle is a safe refuge, yet if we confine ourselves to it, the results might not be to our benefit in the long run. The Tower of London is an example of a refuge turned to a prison. I just watched a whole series on the Tower of London. Fucking fascinating. And a real reminder of how horrible human beings, mostly men, have always been. Even in the most civilized countries in the world. All right. During the Middle Ages, a moat was built around the tower for further protection. The moat was connected to the Thames River for drainage. However, the drainage didn't work well, and for more than 400 years, the moat was a cesspool. The inhabitants of the tower were exposed to all kinds of diseases. It was Queen Victoria who finally had the moat filled in and restored health to the inhabitants of the tower. The moral of the story is that what we think we want might not be good for us in the long run. The picture tells you you will get your wish, but don't rush it. Smell the roses along the way. You might have a fuller life than you expected. The Russians say the quieter you travel, the farther you'll get. That's good. Those who are always in a hurry not only miss many details and have to redo them later, but also increase their chances of dying young from high blood pressure. Therefore, strive for your goals, but be patient. You will get as far as you want to go. So patience, Cancer. I'm going to scoop these up this way and then go to the next row because our last one is Aquarius. Where's my oddballs? I got some oddballs out there? Yes, Georgia. Okay, Aquarius, Gemini, Scorpio, Gemini rising. So, we have fire, purse, bear, mice. We have dagger, bread, lady, horse. Oh, that was hearse, not horse. That wasn't hearse, that's money. That's money. I saw the edge of it. Mountain, letter, money, which is down here. Flowers. Stars, dagger, book, road. Heart, heron, ring, house. Okay, we got to go to the next row. Unless I missed one. Okay, this is for you, Georgia. Mice. Ba-boom, there they are. I love it when the pictures just show up, you know, and you don't have to turn anything. And this is the first one we've had that's facing one way or the other. Another animal. So we've had 2 out of 12 that were not animals, and 1 out of 12 that wasn't either upright or upside down. This one is sideways. What does it mean? Who the fuck knows? To me, it means that we're connected, that we definitely hooked into the cable, you know? We hooked into the live wire with spirit, and how you set things up has everything to do with how they go. And well, let me do this, and then I want to say something about last week's video, which kind of makes me glad that you can't access it and watch it. Hold on. I almost just put my back out. Oh my God. You guys get to hear all my old lady problems. Okay. Mice. Period of influence is immediate. It is a symbol for loss or finding of a material article. And in this position, it says an unexpected discovery. Good, because the next position would be a theft, and we don't want that. Yes, it's in the second position. An unexpected discovery. This may refer to finding something of value that you had completely forgotten you had. It could be a piece of jewelry, money, uncashed bonds, or anything that pleases you. The picture may also refer to finding something of value that is not yours. Make an effort to return it. Hey, go. You will be rewarded either immediately or in life generally. A funny incident happened in our family to illustrate this point. One day a cat walked into our house and made himself at home. My son wanted to keep him as a partner to our own cat. However, I told him to check the lost and found section of the paper, as the owner might be looking for his pet. Sure enough, there was an ad. The owner rushed over. He was so happy that he gave my son a $50 reward. What an easy lesson this was for my son to learn. He saw that by returning what he had found, he made the other person extremely happy, as well as pocketing the reward himself. So, talking about finding something that you've lost, finding something you thought was lost, or finding something that belongs to someone else and returning it. My husband and I just try to generally be good people, and there's never a discussion of if you found this, what would you do if you knew, that you could identify the person that lost it. So, so Aquarius, some things may be coming back to you that you thought were gone for good. I want to broaden that meaning to not just objects, but I have to remember the deck we're dealing with and how accurate this deck is. So I would love to hear in the coming days or over this next week, which, I look at these readings as a period of a week, even though some of these cards talk about lifetime influences. So within the next week, Aquarius, if you have something like this happen, I'd love to know. I would love to know about it. So what I was going to say about last week's video is I'm kind of glad that people can't watch it, that it's not just, available as a video on my channel now, because we use the Outset Egyptian Oracle. And one of the things I noticed with that deck is that every card seemed to be saying sort of the same thing. There were many cards that I turned up that had creativity as a keyword, and it was all about, connect with spirit and use your creative things, and it was like, kind of had that airy-fairy, it's all positive feel. I think there was like one that I got that was different, but I'll definitely try that deck again. But I was disappointed with it because I thought things were far too generalized. So I'm hearing myself say that as I'm trying to generalize some of these very specific things. So forget it, I'm not going to generalize it. If you specifically have something like this hit, please let me know. I want to find a process here that really works for me and my viewers, that I am hooking into spirit, and spirit knows who's going to be watching this video and when. So anyhow, I liked using this deck this way. I've used this deck over the years and only ever done full readings with it. And I think I might have used it on this channel once before for just doing one-offs. But okay, so now, in the last 20 minutes or so that we have, because I usually do an hour and a half, let's bring out Socrates. Let's bring out my swearing ball. And I also have my 8-ball here to back him up if he's just being too much of a smart ass. You're smart ass, Socrates, you're allowed to just speak the truth. Okay, I'll start it off by saying, am I going to have a wonderful birthday on Saturday? Am I going to have a wonderful birthday on Saturday, Socrates?
Why the fuck
not? Yeah. Okay, who's got a yes or no question? Okay, thanks, Georgia. Okay. I realize I should be responding to the chat in real time because that happens to pop up in real time. It doesn't have the lag, I don't think. I don't know. Anyway, still figuring things out here, figuring out the music thing and what's going to get my videos bumped. I did not get a strike against me. I think the first time I used music on something, I got a strike because I did not attribute who it was and you know, the copyright. I didn't say I don't own copyright to this, and I got a strike. So this, they said it's not a strike, it's just that this person does not allow this music to be used in this way in these countries. So, you know, I didn't do anything wrong, which makes me feel good. But I don't want to put music on a live stream that I'm hoping will then be available as a video on my channel and have it bounced because of the music. I don't know. Do I care? How much do I care about that? I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know. Okay, yes or no questions. Will my granddaughter buy a new car tomorrow? Okay. For Georgia, will Georgia's granddaughter buy a new car tomorrow? Oh, the Dodge. The 8-ball Dodge. Can't tell you now. Ask again later. Let's see what the 8-ball says. Let me give it some love. Oh, magic 8-ball. Will George's granddaughter buy a new car tomorrow? Never shake your 8-ball. You can jostle it, but don't shake it. Reply hazy, try again. Okay, that's how we know there is not an answer available. When they back each other up, we know. Okay. Oh, is she okay? Here we go. Let's see. Okay. What sign is she? If I can remember what the readings were that we gave for each of the signs, maybe there was something in there. I don't know if anything pertained to buying. Oh, there was a lot of things talking about if you're buying a new car, or if you're doing this, or if you're doing that. So, but I hope she's okay. Let's all send out some vibes to Georgia's granddaughter, that she be able to find the perfect car at the right time. I'm seeing blue. I'm seeing something small and blue with a silvery sheen to it, is what I'm seeing. I have good karma with cars. I have Capricorn on my 3rd house cusp, which rules cars. The 3rd house is car travel. And that Saturn sits in the 2nd house of money and value. So it says I get good value out of my automobiles, and they last a long time, Saturn. When both of our cars last spring, within the space of 5 days, died, like dead and gone. And then we borrowed my sister-in-law's car, and within the week, my husband was in an accident. That car was totaled. At any rate, when we had to find a new car, you know, we rented for a couple of weeks, and it's like, now we have to find a new car right away. And I couldn't see it. Usually I can see what's coming. But as we started looking, suddenly it was like, okay, I'm seeing red. And I'm seeing it's going to be on somebody's lot, but not out with all their normal stuff. It's going to be different than their normal stuff, and it'll be like, oh, and we have this. And we got a little red Ford Focus. It was on this lot where the used cars were, like most of them were $8,000 and up. Our budget was $4,000. And they're like, oh, but we do have this, and showed us this fabulous little car. She's just a champ. Her name is Aria, and she's a pony. She's my badass little pony. Okay. So Cancer was the castle, and it was talking about you'll get what you want, even if at the end of your life. No, she's not going to have to wait till the end of her life to get a car. So, all right, cool. Any other questions? Who else has got a question? Come on, there's 5 of ya. We've got time for everybody to have a question. Come on, pony up. Pony up, pony up. I'm going to do a question silently.
You're a fucking loser.
Okay. I am not, in fact, a fucking loser, Socrates. But the answer was no to my question. So, all right, no more questions, anybody? I've got I've got a deck to shoot for Friday. I hope you enjoyed the cats one on Monday. I'm going to do another cat deck. I was going to say several, but I have many cat decks, and I'm getting many more. And it was weird because I was looking at it last night and just, let's see how this works, because I hadn't really worked with it since I'd gotten it. And I do want to bring more to you guys than just a fresh look unboxing. Some decks are going to be like that, but if it's a deck, I don't know, I just like to work with it a little bit so I can bring a little more to you when I do the reviews. But this one, I went through and looking at the book, it has 3 sections of cards. There's seasons, and there's attitudes, and then there's, I can't remember what they call them, but the rest of the deck. Pardon. And I discovered there's a card missing. There are 5 attitude cards, and there are only 4. Except that it's really fucked up, because it says there are 23 cards in the deck, and I counted them, and there are 23. But there's a card mentioned in the book that is not in the deck. So I'm going to call Los Garbeo, or contact Llewellyn. Actually, I'll call their customer service. Llewellyn and US Games are both absolutely fabulous with customer service. I've told you before that when I got some gift decks from a friend, many gift decks from a friend, she was amazing. And she continues, she got 2 copies of the same deck for Christmas, and she contacted me and said, do you want one? So I'll trade her, send her a silk scarf or a purse, or, give her, here's what I have, and we trade. But I got these decks that didn't have books with them, and I contacted both US Games and Los Garbeo, and they provided for free the books to these decks, even one that is hardcover, like full-size book. So they're excellent customer service. They'll keep you happy if you come upon a deck that doesn't have a book. So I'm going to call them tomorrow. Oh, hi, Mary. Hi. Honey, you're here at the dead end. Oh, my gosh. Mary, do you have a yes or no question? We're asking yes or no questions of Socrates here. Socrates in the 8 ball. So everybody else is being shy. Georgia's not shy. She asked a question. And hi, Mary. Mary Foster, I didn't see you show up. I'm saying hi to Mary Markowski as well. But Mary Foster, I didn't see you when you showed up. So anybody, we got like 10 minutes to go. Yes or no question. You can make it as vague as you want. What's the answer to the question I'm thinking in my head right now? You can do that. You hold the question. The connection is between you and me to here. So, is it dangerous? Okay. Is the pain in Mary's eye, Mary Markowski's eye, dangerous? I hope you don't mind me using your name.
No fucking way.
Okay, that's good. Cool. I would find out what it is. It might not be dangerous now. So pain is always a signal that something's going on. It also depends on the duration of the pain, the severity of the pain. If it's really intense, just started and really intense and going on for an hour or more, then you should get it looked at. If it's, you might just have something in there not dangerous, it just needs to be flushed out. If it's, a consistent like lower grade pain, but it goes on for a long time, you need to get that checked out too, even a week, few days, get that checked out too. So I would say, there's a scale of things to get looked at. And my fan needs to be pointing more at me. Yes, he said no fucking way. Yes, this is Socrates, the swearing ball. I will hold him closer to the microphone next time. If you really can't hear what he's saying, then I will hold him closer to the microphone. What? Anybody else get some? Okay. Is this a viable option? Lisa wants to know, is this a viable option? And I'm going to hold it up so you can hear him. Is this a viable option for Lisa?
Things look fucking good.
Could you hear that? Okay. Okay, Mary, I see it's sporadic. Yeah, you heard that, huh? It's sporadic. I brought it to medical attention in the past. Well, then, if if you're still concerned, if you've had the experience that somebody's not listening to you, then indeed pursue it until you are satisfied with the answer. Go to a specialist. If your GP is blowing you off, I've had a doctor like that blew me off, and I had to get a different doctor, and it changed my life. So if it's annoying you to the point where you really do need it to be looked at and your GP is blowing you off, go to a specialist. That's what I would say. Okay. He said things look fucking good, Lisa. So that's what Socrates said, is things look fucking good. So I would say yes, that's a viable option for you, Lisa. Okay. Anybody else got a question? Think it up in your mind. Hold it in your mind. What is the answer to my question? And I like the way you asked there. Is this a viable option? Okay. You're welcome. You are welcome, both of you. Anybody else? Now, I want to tell you that I had to train Socrates for a while. When I first had him, he was all over the map. And, my fault probably, because I used him for fun. It was just like, haha, let's ask this. I always took it to Mother Drum with me. Let's ask the swearing ball, and that's what I call it, just the swearing ball. And we would all laugh and not take it seriously. But in the last few years, mostly when I discovered that I cannot find another one of these anywhere, I can't even find a source to the original manufacturer. I cannot find any reference to it. There's a company name on the bottom. Nothing. So this is it. This is the only magic swearing ball I will likely ever have. And what the hell do you what do you search? Magic swearing ball? Silver swearing ball? I don't know, but I did search the company, it was 1995 E&B Giftware Inc. Can't find those folks anywhere. Or I did find them, and it's entirely different products than this. Okay. I'm glad you're thinking, Mary. Anybody else? Let's see. Do I have another question? Will I reach my target weight? No. Am I realistic about my target weight? Am I being realistic about my target weight?
Are you fucking crazy?
Well, yeah, but that's beside the point. The thing is, I have come within 3 pounds of this target weight. So, we'll see. I'll take that with a grain. I'm going to ask the 8 ball on that one, too. Am I being realistic about my target weight? It says, oh, for crying out loud, I got to hold it up to be able to read it. My sources say no. Okay. All right, that's fine. We will adjust. We will definitely adjust. And I realize, the weight that my healthy weight in my 20s is probably not possible because my body has changed through having children. I got these now. I didn't have these when I was in my 20s. So, okay, thank you, Mary. I was telling everybody else that we're back on strict keto. I've dropped 10 pounds in the last week, and I'm feeling so much better. My energy levels are up. I feel my metabolism revving. I cleaned my whole fucking closet out on Sunday, 7 hours, and 2 hours on Monday to finish it up. But it's great, So I feel like things are moving forward for me right now. Anybody else? Anybody else? You got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes to come up with a question. It can be something trivial, too, just for the hell of it, because Socrates is fun. I like to hear him swear. I swear a lot. You might have noticed. It helps me. I don't know, is that I think that's my Pluto-Mercury conjunction, you guys. And that's conjuncting my midheaven, so I do it in a public way. Public way. Fucking hilarious. Okay. Next question from Mary. Is gluten a problem for me? Is gluten a problem for Mary?
Shit. No fucking way.
But I'll tell you what is. It's not the gluten. It's the wheat itself. Wheat has been so hybridized that it bears no resemblance to what wheat was back when we first started using it for bread. And grains, so keto is no grains, no beans, no sugar. And sugar is an inflammatory thing. Sugar is the beast that is responsible for heart disease. And you know, how much sugar does our food have in it? It's ridiculous. Grains and beans are seeds. So they are covered with a coating that has things in them called lectins. And these lectins are an irritant because the seeds, there are some seeds that need birds to eat them and poop them out. There are some seeds that actually have to pass through stomach acid and a digestive system in order to sprout. But most seeds, wheat in particular, corn, you know, all these grains we eat, rice and beans, do not want animals to eat them. They want to go directly into the ground because if they're eaten, they're destroyed. So the lectins coat these seeds so they're an irritant to the digestive system and animals won't eat them. If I eat wheat within like 3 days in a row, I will have IBS again. And true story. So look into, if you haven't seen, if anybody's interested in keto or wonders what it is, it's the ketogenic diet, KETOGENIC. Look for I'm definitely running out of steam here. Look for a movie called The Magic Pill and watch it. And it really is a magic pill. I lost 50 pounds in the first year of keto. And it's not just for losing weight, it's a lifestyle change. And we're lifers, you know, good high fats, good vegetables, good meat, very little processed food. I would say no processed food. And we don't even eat organic because I can't afford that. But our diet is so much better, and I am so much healthier. So, yeah, I would say look into grains altogether rather than just gluten. Gluten is a problem for everybody, I think. You know, it's gluten. Anyhow, it's been an hour and a half. I'm going to wrap up because I'm starting to lose the plot here. I really appreciate everybody being here with me. And checking out my new process. I think this might be a process that I stick with, although I do want to use different decks. But we'll certainly be revisiting this process. But the process in particular of a white candle and the water. So what I want to do is say thank you to Spirit. I want to say thank you to my guides, particularly thank you to Lloyd, thank you to my mother and grandmother, to my ancestors, all my guides and guardians that have showed up tonight and given me the messages to give to my viewers. I really appreciate it. To all of you. We will cover the water. I'll see you on Friday for an Oracle unboxing, Monday for another Tarot unboxing, and back here again, same time next week, 8:30, for another round of readings. I hope you guys are well. I hope you are wearing your mask, washing your hands, staying safe. Please, let's get through this. And, you know, yes, we have to protect the idiots too, so they don't spread it all over the place. Anyway, I'll see you later. Thanks for being with me. This is the Zen Witch. Blessed be.